welcome the incredibly talented and wonderful Mandy Harvey!
To be here, and honestly, being able to watch that video was probably the highlight of my day. So I'm glad that we got to do that twice. Not that I needed to be introduced twice, but I'm glad that that got to happen. I've had an incredible experience over my lifetime, but it started out, and it has been continuously a little tumultuous. I was born hard of hearing. I was one of those kids who was very withdrawn, who didn't really have a community. And I remember the first time that I really remembered that community was real. And that was when I was I was 4 years old, and I was sitting in a choir class that my mom had dropped me in. I don't know if you know any 4-year-olds, but I think she was just trying to get rid of me for a couple hours. It was an adult class. It was at church, and my mom was like, hey, she knows everyone here, can she just stay here for an hour or so? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So they handed me the sheet music. And as a hard of hearing kid who's very withdrawn because I didn't understand the conversations around me, I had in my hands gold. I saw the words that everybody was about to be saying, and I got to be a part of the conversation for the first time. And being able to see and being able to understand everything that was happening in that moment was like fireworks shooting off in my brain. And not only that, nobody felt or made me feel like it was weird that I was there. And that's how I fell in love with music. I fell in love with choir first, because it's about community. Didn't matter if you were older or younger, rich, poor, black, white, how you cook your eggs, politics, religion, didn't matter. Everybody in that room was working together to create something beautiful. We were working as one collective team. And you could see the strength as they were together as a team. So much more than they were as individuals. And so I wanted to pursue music not as a performer initially, to be a music educator, because having people stare at me for a living is absolutely terrifying. I used to vomit on people when they looked at me too long, so good luck. I was known as the puke girl through middle school and high school. I was very good at it. I had very good aim. And or passed out, nearly peed my pants once at an audition that I was forced to do. I was super cool, guys. But my goal was to build community. That was my heart. I wanted to go to school so that I could give kids the opportunity to be a part of something like that, and also to have the tools to be able to express themselves. And that didn't quite work out the way that I intended it to, and I ended up losing the rest of my hearing that first year of college. But it started an incredible journey of learning to love myself on a deeper level than I ever thought was possible. Being surrounded by amazing people who showed me that just because I had a hearing loss did not mean that I didn't have potential. And what this organization is doing on a fundamental basis is telling those children that even though the world may not see them as normal, because I guarantee you, as a person who is deaf, they don't. They will be looked at, maybe talked about, maybe excluded from other people, but not you guys. You guys are a core community for them, and they will feel that for their entire lives. You get to be the people who start telling them that they are important, that they have goals that they can achieve, that they belong. This is an amazing opportunity for them to start understanding that they are part of a bigger community. And it gives them the ability not only to dream, but dream big. And you never know what that's going to lead to. So I wanted to start by singing a song that's about community. I wrote it because I was encouraged by people who pushed me far past my comfort zone, so much so that they were like, hey, why don't you write your own music? And I was like, heck no, that's terrifying. It's weird enough to sing without being able to hear yourself. If you're singing a song that another person loves, you're like, okay, well, even if it's meh, they'll like it anyway. It's very different to sing a song that no one has ever heard before. So that's a level of fear I'm not ready for. And I was asked a very simple question from a very dear friend. What's the worst that can happen? And I didn't have an answer for it. But I repeated the question so much I got annoyed with myself, because I've always been the person to look at the negative, to see myself as different, to see myself as broken, to worry about making a fool of myself because I'm going to misunderstand somebody else. I've always seen what the problems are going to be first. So I decided to change the narrative. What's the best that can happen? What's the best that can happen by being a part of something like this? What's the best that can happen by expressing myself, by encouraging other people to realize that they're not alone? So much. Even if it's only for one person, the best that can happen is all positive. So that's what I'm going to focus on. This is about the power of community and how we are so much stronger and we can accomplish so much more when we work together as a team, but also, even as a person with profound deafness, don't hold me back. Don't put me in a box of limitations, because that's a lack of education on your part. I'm a force to be reckoned with. So please get out of my way if you can't join in, because I'll plow over you. Nice to meet you, are we flying? Or is it all in my head? I'm second guessing, but I'm trying before it all disappears. Seconds turned into minutes, wasted time instead of living. Please don't stand in my way. I am running out of nowhere. Yes, I'm moving on, I'll lose the race if I wait. I'm so close that I can taste it. Yes, I'm moving on, whoa, I'm running. This time I'm gonna make it. Whoa, I'm running. This time. The hardest part of all is knowing how to catch my breath. I'm scared to risk it all, take a chance, close my eyes and try again. But seconds turned into minutes, wasted time instead of living. Please don't stand in my way. I am running out of nowhere. Yes, I'm moving on, I'll lose the race if I wait. I'm so close that I can taste it. Yes, I'm moving on, whoa, I'm running. This time I'm gonna make it. Whoa, I'm running. This time, whoa, I'm running. This time I'm gonna make it. Whoa, I'm running. This time I'm gonna make it. I'm not the same kid I used to be. Oh, this time I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna chase it for me. 'Cause seconds turned into minutes, wasted time instead of living. Please don't stand in my way. I am running out of nowhere. Yes, I'm moving on, I'll lose the race if I wait. I'm so close that I can taste